The battlefield was silent now. Smoke floated in the air. Broken machines and bodies lay everywhere. Fires still burned. It was a place where life had ended. In the middle of it all, she lay still, an alien girl with silver blue skin and glowing violet eyes. Her name was Alira. Her arm was bleeding badly. Her breathing was slow. She had no strength left. Her people, the Varelians, were all gone. Their ship had exploded. The last scream she heard was from her younger brother. Now, there was nothing. Alira knew the humans had won this battle. She was the last one alive. And they wouldn't show mercy. She closed her eyes. If they find me, she whispered, they'll kill me anyway. Better to die now. She let the pain take over. Her body relaxed. She waited for the end. But then something touched her. It was warm, firm, gentle. She opened her eyes slowly. Above her, blocking the sun, was a human. His armor was scratched. Blood covered his hands. His eyes, though, were not cruel. They were wide with shock, and something else, compassion. He held her carefully, as if she would break. Alira tried to move, but her body failed. She didn't understand. Why? She asked, her voice barely a breath. Why are you touching me? The human looked around quickly, then pulled her into his arms. Stay quiet, he said. You're safe now. I promise. Safe. She wanted to laugh, but she was too weak. A human soldier was saving her. Your people, they kill us, she whispered. His jaw tightened. I know. Then why? He didn't answer. Instead, he carried her to the edge of the field, where twisted metal and large rocks created a small hiding space. He laid her down gently and opened a pouch. He pulled out a small device, activated it, and passed it over her arm. A soft green light healed her bleeding wound. You're helping me, she said, confused. He nodded. My name is Evan. I'm not like the others. Alira blinked, her vision blurry. But we're enemies. Maybe once. But I saw you lying there, bleeding, alone. His voice grew softer. You didn't try to kill anyone. You didn't even fight back. You looked like someone who just wanted peace. Her body trembled, not from fear but from how gentle he was. For years, she had been trained to fear humans, to believe they were monsters. But this one had kind eyes. Alira closed her eyes again, not to die this time, but to rest. Sleep, Evan whispered. I'll keep watch. She didn't understand what was happening. Maybe she was dreaming. Maybe this was her mind's final trick before death. But when she woke again, it was night. Stars twinkled above. Evan was still there, sitting beside her, holding a small plasma gun. He hadn't moved. His eyes were tired, but alert. You stayed, she said. He smiled slightly. Of course I did. Your people. They'll think you're a traitor. Let them. Strange feeling filled her chest. She didn't know what to call it. Was it safety? No. It was something deeper. She wanted to ask more questions, but a sudden sound cut the moment. A voice gold and robotic echoed through the night. Scan complete. Varelian life form detected. Terminate on site. Human drones. They had found her. Evan grabbed his gun and pulled Alira behind a rock. Don't move, he whispered. The drone floated above, scanning the area. Alira looked at Evan. Run. They'll kill you if they see you with me. I'm not leaving you, he said. She stared at him. Why was this human so different? Drone hovered closer. Evan aimed, waited, and then fired. A flash of light, a burst of smoke. The drone crashed to the ground. Alira gasped. He had just attacked his own machine. Evan turned to her. We have to move. They'll send more. He lifted her again, careful, but quick. As they ran into the dark forest, Alira rested her head on his chest. Her people were gone. Her world was broken, but in this human's arms. Maybe, just maybe, she wasn't alone anymore. She had closed her eyes to die but opened them to hope. The forest was cold and quiet. Trees stood tall, like soldiers. Leaves rustled with every step. Evan moved carefully, holding Alira close to his chest. Her body was still weak, but her eyes were open now, watching him, trying to understand. She was not used to silence. Her world had always been full of voices, commands, orders. Now, the only sound was Evan's breathing and the crunch of leaves under his boots. "Where are we going?" she asked in a tired voice. "There's an old station nearby. Not used anymore." "We'll hide there for now," Evan replied, eyes scanning the trees. Alira looked up at him. "You should have left me. You should have killed me." He stopped walking and looked at her, confused. "Why would I kill you? I am Varelian, your enemy." "That's what your orders must say." Evan took a deep breath and gently placed her down on a smooth rock. He sat beside her. "You're not just some order to me," he said. "You're alive. You were bleeding, scared. You didn't raise a weapon. You didn't attack me. You looked like someone who didn't deserve to die." Alira looked away. "That's not what your leaders think." "I know," Evan said, voice heavy. "If they find out, they'll court-martial me. Maybe execute me." "Then why?" she asked again. Evan looked into her violet eyes. "Sometimes doing the right thing means breaking the rules." Lyra stayed silent. Evan stood up and reached into his bag. He pulled out a small energy bar and handed it to her. "Eat. You need strength." She hesitated, then took it. It tasted strange, salty, but her body welcomed it. As she ate, she watched Evan reload his weapon, fix the strap on his armor, and tighten his boots. He was trained, strong, focused, but she could also see the pain in his eyes. Not physical pain, but the kind that came from inside. It's the kind that stayed silent but deep. "Why do you look so alone?" she asked softly. Evan looked at her, surprised by the question. "My brother died in this war," he said after a pause. "He was a good man. He followed orders. They sent him to destroy a Varelian outpost, but when he got there, it was full of kids, families, not soldiers. He refused to shoot. So our own army bombed the place, and him with it." Alira's heart sank. "I'm sorry," she said. After that, Evan continued. "I stopped believing everything they told me." For the first time, Alira saw him not as a human, not as a soldier, but as a person. A broken one, like her dot. Suddenly, a sharp beep came from Evan's wrist device. He looked down. Alert, unidentified life form detected. Patrol units en route. "Damn it," Evan cursed. "They're scanning the forest. You don't have much time." He helped Alira up again. "Can you walk?" She tried to stand, but her legs shook. "Not yet." Without a word, Evan lifted her again and began running through the woods. The sound of drones buzzed in the distance. Red lights scanned the area like angry eyes in the dark. "We're close," he said. "Just a little more." They reached a broken metal fence. Behind it stood an old, rusty structure half buried under moss and trees. "A supply bunker," Evan said, "from the early war." He kicked open the old door and rushed inside. It was dusty, filled with crates and metal shelves. No cameras, no systems online. "Safe, for now," he said, gently laying her down on a bed of old blankets. Alira's breathing slowed. Hands were shaking. "I don't understand you," she whispered. "Why are you risking everything for me, okay?" Evan knelt beside her. "Because I see something in you," he said softly. "You're not a monster. You're not a killer. Maybe you're like me, just trying to survive." Alira looked at him. His voice was calm now, real. She thought of the stories told on her planet's stories of humans as heartless, cruel invaders. But this one, he was different. Outside, the drones passed. The red lights faded. For now, they were safe. But inside, both of them, something had changed. The girl who thought all humans were killers, and the man who should have followed orders, now sat together, side by side, enemies on paper, but something more in the heart. The bunker was quiet, but not peaceful. Evan checked his rifle for the third time. He paced back and forth, glancing at the entrance again and again. Outside, the trees stood still, but the air felt heavy, like a storm was coming. Alira lay on a blanket in the corner, her energy slowly returning. Her silver blue skin had regained some color, and her eyes were sharper now. But she wasn't strong enough to fight or run. I can feel them, she whispered. My people, they're close. Evan froze. Varelians. She nodded. Hunters, trained to track survivors. They don't know I'm alive, but they will. Soon. Evan looked down at his communicator. Still no signal from his command post. Probably blocked. So, your own kind is hunting you now, he said. That makes two of us. Alira gave a small, bitter smile. We're both traitors, in their eyes. There was silence for a moment. Then Evan said, we need to move. They'll find this place. Alira sat up slowly. I'm getting stronger. Maybe I can walk soon. No need to rush, Evan replied. I'll carry you if I have to. She looked at him. You keep risking your life for me. Why? He didn't answer. Instead, he turned to check the storage crates, searching for supplies. Alira lowered her eyes. She didn't want to admit it, but part of her wanted him to stay. With him, she didn't feel like an enemy. She felt human. Suddenly, a loud blast shook the bunker. Dust fell from the ceiling. The old metal door bent slightly. Evan raised his gun. Someone found us, he said in a low voice. Outside, footsteps approached. Not just one or too many. Alira closed her eyes, reaching out with her mind. Her kind had psychic senses, especially when scared. They're mixed, she said. Some human, some Varelian. They're working together. Evan's eyes widened. That's not possible. It is now, Alira whispered. They want us both dead. The door creaked. A voice shouted from outside. Come out, Evan Ross. You are charged with treason. Surrender the alien, and you will be spared. Evan didn't move. His jaw tightened. Knew they'd come, he muttered. Alira looked up. You should run. They'll kill you if you stay. Evan shook his head. I already made my choice when I saved you. Outside, another voice echoed. This one, sharp, cold, and alien. Alira, of the Varelian royal line, you were considered impure. You chose the enemy. For this, you will die. Alira flinched. That voice, she knew it. General Vrox, she whispered. He was my father's closest guard. Evan crouched beside her. We're outnumbered, but not helpless. He gave her a small shock pistol. Can you still aim? She nodded. Just don't miss. The metal door burst open. A smoke grenade rolled in. Then dash chaos. Evan fired at the shadows in the smoke. Red flashes lit up the room. Lyra, weak but focused, shot back at a figure moving toward Evan. The blast hit the attacker's shoulder, sending him crashing into the wall. Voices shouted. Gunfire roared. Evan pushed over a crate for cover and helped Alira behind it. We can't stay here, he shouted. They'll trap us. Alira focused, her eyes glowing faintly. I can open a way. There's an old tunnel under the floor. I can feel the energy path. Evan looked at her. Do it. Fast. She placed her hand on the ground. Soft light spread under her palm. The metal creaked, and a panel popped open, revealing a narrow tunnel below. Go, she yelled. Evan helped her down first, then jumped in and sealed the hatch just before bullets hit the spot. Darkness. They crawled through the tunnel, breathing hard, hearts pounding. Where does this lead? Kevin asked. To an old transport station. If we can get there, we might find a ship. They reached the end of the tunnel and climbed up into a dusty station with broken screens and long dead power lines. But it was quiet. No enemies. For now, Evan helped her sit down, both of them covered in dirt and blood. Alira looked at him. You're bleeding. So are you, Evan said with a weak smile. They laughed softly. "Kay, despite everything." But then Alira's face grew serious. "We can't run forever," she said. "They'll never stop hunting us." "Then we don't run," Evan replied. "We fight, we find out who started this war, and we end it." She looked into his eyes. "You're not like the others, Kay, and you're not the enemy," he said too. "Soldiers from two dying worlds, now hunted by both, but together." Maybe they still had a chance. The old transport station was dark and silent. Broken lights flickered on the ceiling. Dust covered everything like a soft gray blanket. In one corner, Evan and Alira sat, their backs against a rusted wall. Their breath was slow, their minds racing. Alira's hands were glowing faintly. She stared at them, confused. "Why is this happening?" she whispered. Evan leaned closer, eyes wide. "That's not normal. I feel something inside me," she said. "Like energy, alive, moving. Is it pain?" She shook her head. "No, it's power, and it's growing." Evan pulled a small scanner from his bag. He passed it over her hands. The screen glitched. "What the?" he muttered. "Your energy signature just overloaded the device." Lyra looked at him. "What does that mean?" "It means whatever's inside you is not just alien tech. It's something stronger. Something ... ancient." Lyra closed her eyes. The moment she did, her surroundings felt different. She could hear things, small sounds, far away. Water dripping through cracks. A rat crawling behind a wall. Even heartbeats. She opened her eyes, fast. "This isn't normal. I was never trained for this." Evan looked serious now. "You said your people used energy-based weapons. But this ... this isn't a weapon. This is alive." Suddenly, Alira remembered something in old story. A forbidden one. A tale about the Varelian core child. "My mother," she whispered. "She used to tell me stories about a Varelian born with a living power, a piece of the original Kortha, source of our people's strength. They called it the flame that breathes, but was only a myth." Evan stared at her. "Maybe you're the myth." Lyra touched her chest. She could feel a pulse different from her heart. A second rhythm, slower, deeper. Then it hit her. "My parents weren't soldiers," she said slowly. "They were protectors of me." Evan leaned in. "What are you saying?" "I was hidden. My powers were sealed when I was a baby. That's why I never knew. That's why the hunters want me dead. Not because I'm weak, but because I'm the last core bearer." Evan's eyes narrowed. If they get you, they can restart the war or destroy both worlds," Alira added. A sudden buzz came from outside the station. Scott's drone flew past the broken window. Evan pulled Alira down. "They're still tracking us," he whispered. "We need to move soon." Alira nodded, but she looked down at her hands. "I don't know how to control it," she said. "What if it takes over me?" Evan placed a hand on her shoulder. "Then I'll help you control it. But first, we need to figure out what else they're hiding." He pulled out a small chip from his pocket. "I took this from one of the soldiers during the bunker attack. It has data." He plugged it into his wrist device. A small screen lit up, showing encrypted files. Evan tapped a few keys, and suddenly, images appeared. Files marked Project Flame Terminate Corbera. Immediately Alice's heart raced. Evan kept reading. "They knew. Your leaders, my leaders. They all knew about you. They made a deal. And the war, only if you die. Alira's voice cracked. They lied to everyone. They're afraid of your power, Evan said. But I'm not. She looked at him. Why? Because you saved me too, he said. You showed me there's still good left. If we run, they win. If we fight together, maybe we change everything. Alira stood slowly. Her legs were still weak, but her eyes burned with purpose. I'm not hiding anymore, she said. Just. Then the wall shook. Explosions echoed outside. A voice blasted through the air. This is Commander Hales. The station is surrounded. Surrender the girl, and we'll let the human live. Alira and Evan looked at each other. They don't think I'll fight back, she whispered. Evan handed her a small energy blade. Then, let's show them they're wrong. Alira raised her hand. Blue light danced from her fingers. God. Trembled. The air buzzed with energy. She's awakening, Evan whispered, awestruck. Outside, soldiers aimed their weapons. Inside, the last Corbearer was done running. The old transport station shook again. A spell from the ceiling. Walls cracked. Outside, voices shouted. Weapons powered up, and drones flew in circles like hungry birds. Inside, Alira stood still. Her silver blue skin glowed softly. Her fingers trembled not with fear, but with power. The core inside her pulsed like a second heart, stronger with every breath. Evan was crouched by the window, holding his rifle, eyes scanning every shadow. They've surrounded us, he said. East, west, front, and roof. No exit. Alira didn't look away. They're scared. They should be, Evan replied. Another explosion rocked the station. A hole opened in the wall, letting in smoke and sparks. Through it, Evan saw the enemy, both humans and Varelians working together, something he never thought possible. What now? Alira asked, her voice steady. We fight, Evan answered. She turned to him. You still want to fight for me? I didn't come this far to hand you over, he said. Alira felt her chest tighten. She wanted to say something, but before she could, a loud metallic voice filled the air. Alira, step outside now. We will spare the human. If you resist, he dies first. Her blood ran cold. Evan looked at her, his face calm, but his eyes full of fear. They know you care, he said. I won't let them hurt you. They will if you don't go. She shook her head. I won't trade my life for yours. But I would, he said. You carry something bigger than both of us. Ke, she said, stepping forward. Not without you. Suddenly, the roof above them exploded. A squad of soldiers dropped down through the ceiling, weapons drawn. Evan turned and fired. Alira raised her hand, and a blast of blue energy pushed the soldiers back, slamming them against the wall. But more were coming, from every side. Evan, we're trapped, she cried. He pointed to a half-broken elevator shaft. Go down. There's a tunnel beneath. What about you? She asked. I'll hold them off. No, she shouted. I'm not leaving you, Alira, he said, walking closer, placing a hand on her cheek. You have a gift, something they all fear. You have the chance to stop this war for good. But you can't do it if you're dead. Eyes filled with tears. I don't want to do this alone. You won't, he promised. I'll find you again. I swear it. Footsteps thundered outside. She turned to the elevator. Her powers sparked again. With a wave of her hand, the shaft cleared, metal bent, and a safe path opened, even pushed. Her gently. Now, go. Alira stepped in. She looked back one last time. His eyes met hers. Then the shaft closed down. She went alone. Back above. Evan stood tall, rifle in hand, facing the incoming wave of enemies. He didn't know if he'd survive, but he knew why he stayed. He was buying time. For her, for the truth. for hope. Below, in the tunnel. Ali-Ra ran through the dark, tears in her eyes, heart pounding. Every step hurt, but she kept going. She had no choice now. She reached a quiet chamber in old Varelian temple. It's buried long ago. The walls glowed when she entered, sensing the power inside her. She stepped to the center. Symbols lit up beneath her feet. The core inside her responded. Images appeared in the air, her parents, the flame, the history hidden from both worlds. She saw the truth. The war didn't start because of hate. It started because of fear. The humans had found the core first but were afraid to use it. The Varelians wanted it back. And when fear met fear, war was born. Her body shook. I can end this, she whispered. But at what cost? She didn't know. She only knew one thing: she had to go back for Evan above in the station. Evan fell to one knee, wounded. The soldiers moved in. Where's the girl? The commander demanded. Evan smiled weakly. Gone. Then you're useless. The voice growled. A gun pointed at his head. He closed his eyes. Suddenly, roar of energy filled the air. The walls shattered. Light exploded through the roof. And there she was, floating, glowing. Ali-Ra, the last core bearer. Back for him. Back for war or peace. Light filled the broken station like a storm of stars. Evan looked up, barely able to see through the burning glow. His wounds stung, his arms heavy. Around him, soldiers had fallen, their weapons tossed aside by the blast of power. And then she appeared, Ali-Ra, floating above the ground, her eyes glowing bright blue, key energy dancing around her like fire made of light. She looked like a goddess, a living force. She landed beside him and knelt. Evan, she whispered. He smiled weakly. You came back. I said I wouldn't leave you, she said, her voice shaking. I meant it. She touched his chest. Her hand glowed. A pain in his body faded. His breathing became steady again. You healed me, he said. No, she replied. The core healed you through me. But it's not just power anymore. It's changing me. He looked at her closely. Her skin now shimmered with small, glowing marks. Her voice was still soft, but deeper, stronger. She wasn't just Ali-Ra anymore. She was something more. Suddenly, the air grew cold. A soft hum echoed through the room. From above, a large alien ship slowly landed outside the ruins. T's sleek design, silver surface, and glowing symbols showed. One clear thing: Varelians. Ali-Ra stood and stared at the ship. Her heart raced. It's my people, she whispered. They found me. Evan stood beside her, holding her hand. Do you trust them? I don't know. Ship door opened. A group of Varelians stepped out, dressed in white armor. At the front was a tall figure with sharp eyes and a long cape. Ali-Ra of the core, you have returned to us, the figure said. His voice echoed in her mind as much as in her ears. We have come to take you home. Ali-Ra stepped forward. You left me behind, she said. The leader did not move. You were hidden for your safety, but now the time has come. You are our last hope, our next queen. Evan's eyes widened. Queen. Ali-Ra looked down. I never wanted power. I just wanted peace. Then come with us, the leader said. We will protect you, teach you, and help you rule. She paused. What about him? The Varelian leader's face turned cold. The human. He is not one of us. He is a danger. He must stay behind. Evan stepped forward. I'm not her enemy. I protected her when no one else would. And now your use is over, the leader said. Let her go. She belongs with us. Ali-Ra's heart pounded. She looked at Evan. He said nothing. He didn't beg. He didn't cry. He just stared at her with quiet eyes full of truth. You don't have to choose me, said, but don't let them force you. Kay, her hands clenched at her voice shook. You said I would be queen. Yes, and your people will follow you. You will have power, safety, honor. And what if I say no? Then you are no longer Virelian. Silence. Everyone waited. Alira looked at the sky, the stars above, the battle below, the human beside her, the family in front of her. Then she spoke softly, but clearly. I choose him. Gasps. Even Evan froze. You? You mean that? He asked. I do, she said. He saw me when I was nothing. He stood by me when my own kind hunted me. If I must rule, I will only do it with him beside me. If I must leave something behind, then I leave you. The Virelian leader stepped back, shocked. You would give up your throne for a human. I would give up a crown made of lies for one moment of truth, she said. The Virelian ship began to power up. Angry lights flashing red. Then you are no longer one of us, Alira. You are an exile and an enemy. Then leave, she said, and stay gone. The ship rose into the sky and vanished like smoke. She stood there, shaking. Evan walked to her slowly. You just lost your entire world, he said. She looked at him, his eyes wet but strong. No, she whispered. I just found mine. He held her close. Together, they walked into the quiet ruins, alone, but free. The sky was dark, filled with thick clouds. Thunder rumbled far away. The world seemed ready for war again. Alira stood on a hill overlooking the ruined city below. The energy inside her was wild, untamed. Kay, her glowing blue eyes flickered like lightning. She was the last core bearer, powerful, feared, and hunted. Beside her stood Evan. His face was tired, but full of hope. Are you ready? He asked softly. Alira took a deep breath. I have no choice. Together, they watched as an army of machines and soldiers marched through the city streets. The new enemy had come stronger than ever. Neither human nor Virelian. Something darker. This is it? Evan said. If we lose here, both our worlds are finished. Alira nodded. She stepped forward, energy swirling around her like a storm. She closed her eyes for a moment, reaching deep inside. She felt the core pulse faster, the power answering her call. Then she opened her eyes. Light exploded from her hands. The ground shook. Machines stopped moving. Soldiers froze, confused by the sudden power. She raised her voice. Stop fighting. We don't have to be enemies. The army hesitated. But then the enemy commander, a tall figure in black armor, stepped forward. Your powers will not save you, he said coldly. We will destroy all who stand in our way. Alira's eyes burned brighter. We will fight for peace. But if you want war, you will get it. Evan stepped beside her, lifting his rifle. Together, the battle began. Energy clashed with metal. Light met gunfire. Alira's powers flared, pushing back enemies, saving those who were weak. Evan fought, bravely, covering her, protecting their small hope. Time slowed. Alira saw faces human, Virelian, scared and tired. They didn't want this war. They wanted peace, too. She used her power not to destroy, but to heal wounds. She raised fallen soldiers. She calmed the frightened. The enemy commander sneered and charged. Alira met him with a wave of light. Their powers crashed with a thunderous roar. Evan saw his chance and fired a precise shot. The commander staggered, but didn't fall. Alira gathered all her strength. She reached out not to harm, but to connect. A blue beam of energy wrapped around the commander. His armor cracked. His eyes softened. He fell to his knees. The battle stopped. Silence. Alira's voice broke through the quiet. We are stronger when we stand together. Humans and Virelians can live in peace. We must choose to be one. The soldiers lowered their Weapons, some cried. Others nodded slowly. Evan smiled at Alira. You did it. She smiled back, tears in her eyes. We did it. Together, they walked down the hill toward the city. Hand in hand, the sun broke through the clouds, shining light on a new beginning. The last Corbera had chosen humanitarian war, and maybe, just maybe, a new world could be born.